Good afternoon and welcome to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. I'm your host for today, Michelle Dosbert, and I am by myself, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I'm not really, no, I'm not. I'm going to explain in a minute. I want to thank everybody who's listening and checking us out, all the new listeners, and thank you guys for the likes, for the shares, for the comments, for everything, for stopping me when you see me in the street. You compliment me on the show. Thanks for the text messages, the emails, everything. Just thank you so much. We want you guys to enjoy what we do. We want to continue to give you a good product, and we want to keep up the good work. I have a small favor of you guys. As you share it and listen, as you listen to it, do me a favor, share it, and continue to subscribe to the different platforms, and we're going to talk about that in a second. For the new listeners, Real Chicks Rock is all about the empowerment of women. We do it through various different vehicles and platforms. We do it through public speaking, community service, and we do it through the arts. And this has become one of my favorite platforms, if you will, because I get an opportunity to talk about issues that impact us as women, and I get to talk to influential, inspiring people. And today is no different. The reason why my guest is not here is because every time I do my show on Sunday, it doesn't always work for everyone else's schedule. And I get it. I totally understand it. At the end of the day, the important thing is for me to have the conversation. So I just make sure I'm flexible so that I meet and I'm able to talk to people when it works best for their schedule. So we had an opportunity to talk to Asya Shein about a month ago. She had a lot of great things going on with the brand Fusicology, and the conversation is really enlightening because it talks about how she came up with the idea, where she's from, her influences, how music has influenced her, the people she's known in the industry, and how Fusicology came about. So it's very, very insightful, very informative, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it. On the Real Chicks Rock side, we got things going on before I segue into that. It's the end of the year. Yeah, we're looking at Thanksgiving this week, so I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving wherever you go. Safe travels. If you're going to stay home, just chill out, relax. That's cool. Next month, we have a toy drive. The toy drive is a toy drive and holiday dinner. It's going to be at which has become one of my favorite places, the Philip Rush Center, yes, because they have embraced me with big open arms, and so I continue to do my events over there, whether it's workshops or events or galas, whatever the case may be, I'm taking it over there. And this is no different. So December 14th, we're going to have a toy drive and holiday dinner. We're going to honor or celebrate or just give to 25 kids from the ages of 8 to 11. Their parents are welcomed, of course, and it's just going to be a night of giving. And so doors open at 6. We're going to wrap up maybe about 9, 10. Let's see how we feel. But yeah, we would love for you guys to come through, share, donate, toys, whatever you feel compelled to do. We would honor that with open arms with no problem. So we're pretty excited about that. There's a lot of things we got on the horizon for next year. I can't tell you about any of them because if I did, it wouldn't be a surprise. But as they're ready and the ink has dried on things, you guys will be the first to know what we're doing for the brand. Super excited. 6 years in, got a lot of work to do. So this is just the beginning. So fasten your seat belts and continue to ride with me. I appreciate it so much. But without further ado, here's my conversation with Asya Shein as we take a look into Fusicology. Until next time, you guys, take care. Rock on. Good afternoon and welcome to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. I'm your host for today, Michelle Dawes-Bird, and please don't be alarmed. I am not by myself. I have someone here that is going to just blow our minds today, and I'm super excited that we were able to have her on our show. But for all of our new listeners, let me just give you a little background about what Real Chicks Rock is all about. It's all about the empowerment of women, and we do it through various different ways and vehicles. We do it through community service. We do it through public speaking and mentoring. We do it through our apparel line. Thank you guys for rocking the t-shirts for all these years. And we also do it through media, through the arts. This is my latest baby here. I'm really loving this. This gives us an opportunity to talk about things that impact us as women. We raise the awareness. We raise the vibration. We talk about solutions and things that we can do to make change in our life. And then we also talk to interesting people that I like. That I find to be very interesting, that are doing so many beautiful and wonderful things for the thing that I love the most, which is music. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest for today, Asya Shein. Hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, this is awesome. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much. You are a very busy lady. You are. And today's topic, for those that are listening, it is all about the world of Fusicology. We've seen that brand, that name, everywhere. If you're tied to music, you know exactly what that's about, and you've seen it. And so I know this is a pivotal, critical, important year for you, but I want to take it back a little bit, if you don't mind. Where are you from, Asya? Where are you from?
I am born and raised in Toronto, Canada,
Really?
which is now cool.
Yeah, wow. Toronto is a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place. It's very multicultural and multi-ethnic, and it's just very diverse. And growing up there has allowed me to, I think, empower that diversity and really use it to my advantage.
Yes, nice, nice. So what was life like growing up for you in Toronto? What kind of music did you listen to as a kid, if you can remember?
Sure. Well, my mom's a musician, so I grew up listening to classical music from her, and Motown and soul music from my parents. So that was really, really cool. And that was like my first sort of thing for music. So classical, Motown. And then I was into like 9 Inch Nails and grunge. And that kind of stuff in the early 90s. And then I went to my first rave in 1994. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. I think it was 1993. And I fell in love with dance music and all forms of it. So that's kind of I went from like being kind of I wore cross colors like in the early 90s. Grunge kid, and then I just became like a rave kid. So I went through all the iterations in 5 years.
Nice. Now, are you a musician as well, Asya?
No, but I am a classically trained dancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? How long did you dance?
I never stopped.
Oh, you're still dancing?
Yeah, I'm still dancing. I mean, not the way I used to. Obviously I'm a lot older, but when I was a kid, I started to dance and do rhythmic ballet and gymnastics and so forth, and so I never stopped. And then when I discovered the dance music culture, I bugged out. That's all I wanted to do.
That's what it does to you. So how long have you been in Toronto? When you were just doing the dance and learning your love about music, were you still in Toronto at that time, or did you leave?
Yeah, I lived there until I was 16.
Okay.
Until my parents, their job, my dad, I should say, his job transferred to the States. He was in the auto industry, engineer mechanic, and so back in the day, there was this thing called NAFTA.
Yes, and yes.
That was different back then, and so we were allowed to move to the States, and so I lived in Toronto until that point, and then I moved to. I lived in Detroit at a very young age, and got my first job there at 17 in music.
Wow. What were you doing? At 17? What was your job like?
So there was a lady, she passed away, unfortunately, in 2002. Her name was Laura Gavor. I was her assistant. She managed Moody Man, Theo Parrish, all the Belleville 3, Derek May, all the techno gods.
Wow.
Jeff Mills. And I was her apprentice. I was 17 years old answering the phone. and that was my first job.
Wow.
And I was like so deep into the scene. And then I got asked to be a booker and a promoter at Motor Lounge. So I wasn't old enough, but I don't think anyone cared at that point. I mean, at 17, I don't know what I was thinking, but I went to do bookings and promotions at the club and was one of the first people in Detroit to ever bring like Chicago house to Detroit, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Like actually in a booking sense. I mean,
Yes.
I'm sure they come to, you know, but like to play at a nightclub and get a check.
Right.
Yeah, I was the first person.
Awesome. Do you remember the first person or persons from Chicago that you brought to Detroit?
I do. I brought in Steve Silk Hurley,
Yeah.
who is and,
an
I brought in
icon.
Mike Clark, who is a huge person in Detroit for me and helped me throughout my career, helped me through that. Like he was like he was the resident DJ and he would like approve the people. And yeah, Steve Hurley was the first.
Really? Awesome. 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 So with you living in Detroit doing all this, the scene is growing, right? And you're still promoting and booking and doing things. How long did you do that?
I did that for almost 3 years. Yeah. And then when I was 20 years old, I moved to Chicago. I think 20 or 19 to move to Chicago to manage Pevin Everett.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, he's pretty incredible, right? We did that for 10 years. I was his personal manager, and I was working for Roy Davis Jr. at his record label.
Yeah.
So I was the marketing salesperson, you know, manage, like whatever, you know, how you do everything at that point, right? And then I realized that that wasn't going to suffice. It was just not enough financially or, you know, in a security way. So I went in and I started doing my own, I started my own booking agency. So I was doing what Laura taught me to do, but I moved away from like the sort of techno scene to, you know, Carrie Chandler, Joe Clausel. I did a lot of stuff. I did some stuff for Francois Kevorkian, like Body and Soul. I'm a house head, so I found my calling in Chicago, and yeah, right. And I stayed there for a year. Chicago was pretty intense. In 1999, there was just you know, people partied quite hard.
A lot, yeah.
And so I left, and I moved to Los Angeles in 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you started your company, what did you call it? What's the name? What was the name of your company?
My booking agency was called Mir Media, and MIR, like the space shuttle.
Yes,
you could tell that yes. And I had it for 10 years. We did my claim to fame is definitely when I started to book Questlove of the Roots in early 2000, and then he catapulted me because he spoke, I guess, highly of me to the Jazzy Jeff and the Pete Rocks of the world. And that really transformed me from being a house music booker to like now kind of doing it all in a sense. And so Questlove was like my claim to fame.
Nice.
Back then, no one knew he was a DJ, and he wasn't amazing then. You know, he was a little different as a DJ then. So I really dealt with the sort of the nuances of that. And then in 2002, I got sort of my biggest client, which was the late great Jay Dilla. And I was his, I was his booking agent, and I still work with his estate and some of his family, and I still do a lot of stuff for him.
You are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't know all of that was packaged in you. You are amazing. What a legacy of work.
Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh, what a body of work. And you're still going. So we're going to fast forward a little. I mean, that's awesome. So how did we get Fusicology today? How did that?
So, you know, thank you for asking, because people just sort of they kind of want to know like about the company, but not sort of how it manifested itself.
Yes, that's important.
It is, right? Well, I had the agency, and I was because I had the connections with all the promoters, right? I knew it was cracking. So people would call me and be like, "Hey, I'm going to Atlanta, or I'm going to Baltimore, or whatever. What's going on?" Because they knew that I'm dealing with the DJs and the clubs.
Yes.
And so I started this little newsletter, and then I was in Brooklyn in 2003, exactly 15 years ago. I mean, literally, tomorrow is the anniversary. Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Yes.
But we're not done with our new website yet, so I'm not making big announcements, but it will be very, very soon.
Yes. Awesome.
Yes. And so we're sitting in this like basement in Brooklyn, and I was with Fuse Green, who's an incredible visual artist who works with Spike Lee. And he was like, him and his then girlfriend and business manager at the time, Gail Brooks, were like, yo, you really got to form a brand. It can't be like your booking agency, Mere Media. It's a conflict of interest.
Yes.
The biggest conflict happened when I was doing an event with Questlove in LA, but I also booked Osun Lade across the way in the same city. So it was a complete, what am I promoting? Where are people going? And I realized that maybe not legally, but just ethically, I needed a new brand.
Okay.
So Fuse, because of his name, I love like fusion and fusing things. And we thought of Fusicology because I studied anthropology and biology in college, and I was an earth science major trying to save the world, right?
Really?
Didn't really work out. We're still climbing in the global warming scheme, right? But you know, we just came up with Fusicology, and it sounded kind of wrong. And I went Fusicology, like musicology.
Yes, yes.
And I think it wasn't Google back then. I don't even remember what it was. It was like some other search engine, like Microsoft.
Right.
And we went on there. It didn't exist, and I bought the website immediately, and then that's kind of the beginning of how that incepted.
You are saving the world. You're saving the world because you're connecting the dots for us, because you're absolutely right. If we're here in Atlanta, and I'm from New York, so you provide a mechanism and a platform for me to know what's going on in any major city.
Right.
Whether it be house, whether it's R&B, neo-soul, and hip-hop, which is great.
Exactly. And to me, that's the whole point, is that all of that is the same, essentially. You know, it all comes from the same root. It's all Black music, soul music. It's all in the same. So when people say, well, is Fusicology more hip-hop or more this? I'm like, no, that's the point. To me, you know, I can be in the same night going to hear, you know, a Pete Rock spin, you know, 45-inch records, to then go to an after party and listen to, you know, Boo Williams play house music. And I don't see the cultural, you know, I grew up where culturally that is one and the same. How
do people introduce their music or their event to you? How do you know about the events, Asya? How do you know?
Cool. Well, I mean, obviously social media has played a massive role, where we, you know, we might even find something we don't know about, and we'll DM them, or we'll hit them up on Facebook, and we'll get some responses in, you know, to what their music is about. The other way is we're very blessed. We're on like 7 million email lists. So we just get a lot of information all the time, whether it's new music, events, all types of stuff. And the third way is we're pretty blessed by now that people just know to post, you know, and we used to approve all of the events because people would, in the beginning, would post like more clubby, like top 40 stuff. And I wasn't really down for that. But over the years, it really isn't like that. People just get it. And so we stopped that process. It's just post it up. It's on the site. It's always free. We want your content. And then, of course, the business model is quite simple. If you want it featured, if you want it blasted, if you want it all out there, you know, you pay a small fee and we get it out there for you, much like any other platform.
Right. How does it feel, Asya, to be a woman in this position? It must be phenomenal. Are you the only one doing this type of work, like marketing and promoting, and
yeah, I mean, I can't think of.
I think you're the only one.
Everyone else I know is a dude. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But no, I don't know too many. I haven't met too many people. The one person that my colleague over at Revive Music, Megan, she's obviously a woman. But it's different. She's more of an event producer and very, you know, New York centric and very jazz centric. Not that there's anything wrong with anything I just said. I'm just saying it's different. But no, all the other brands that are, you know, that I can think of are run by men. Yes.
This is pretty important. This is pretty.
Yeah, I didn't think about that before.
Yeah. This is key. I mean, you know, just watching and seeing and observing. I mean, I subscribed to Fusicology before I even met you. And to me, it's always been a godsend, especially on the weekends. But just to see what's going on, who's coming out with new music, who's touring, like who's got a concert or an event going on. Regardless of where I'm at, I can see what's going on and can recommend to friends or other people what's going on in their city. People ask me in Atlanta what's going on in New York. And I use Fusicology to tell you, hey, there's something going on here. You know, somebody's spinning over there. Like, what's going on? Afro punk's going on. Like, it's different things that are going on. And so it's an excellent mechanism, but I know it takes a lot of work, right? So do you?
It does. It does. We have a system. You know, we're obviously user generated, and most, I mean, I would say 80% of the events that are uploaded there. But, you know, let's say Live Nation comes with a tour. Not to be corny, but just because I'm from Toronto, let's say it's the Drake Migos tour. Not really our vibe, but you know, we still, you know, still there. Live Nation ain't gonna post that tour. You know what I'm saying? So we go ahead and post because we do think that, especially in smaller markets, like Salt Lake City or Colorado, that is actually super relevant. You know, maybe in LA and Atlanta, New York, we're like, whatever, the Migos are performing, we're not going to mess with that. But, you know, you got to kind of pick and choose your battles of what you're not going to promote. And so we do post, and then sometimes people just forget to do it, or they think that the venue's going to do it, the other promoter's going to do it, and sometimes we'll have to hit people up like, hey, your event's not up, and then most of the time they're pretty surprised because, you know, their partner was supposed to do it. Sometimes they're like, oh, we didn't even know. We do come across people that think that just posting on our Facebook group page is like posting the calendar. That's a little annoying. And I'm like, nah. But, you know, we're very patient. I have, including myself, 3 other people that are on different time zones. I even have somebody on the weekends. She's an intern because people will not email us quite a bit on the weekends. And we want to be consistently available, especially if there's anything wrong. That's my biggest thing. Like if there's if an event's not happening anymore, or that venue shut down, or something happened, that weekly's not happening that one week for a private event, we really trust on the promoters. It's a full-time job.
It is
to look after everything and to make sure that it's not easy. And as we build up in markets, you know, sometimes you know, there's things that we miss out on and stuff, but best believe we won't miss out on it the next time.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And I have to apologize publicly, because I've posted stuff on Facebook when I didn't know. So I apologize.
You posted on the website too, right? Or you just did the group?
I do. And I do, you know, I've done it for Tambor for Stan. Hi, Stan. And I've done it for Hot Ice Live. Ken Wright. Hi, Ken. So I've done it for those guys. So I apologize for doing that.
No, it's okay. We love Facebook group. We just really, you know, we want it to all sort of also be on the calendar.
Yes.
It's on the app. It's not. You know, there used to be a time, and I think it confused people, and this is no one's fault, where Facebook was allowed to sync with other sites.
Yes.
That has not been the case. I'd say about 3 years now. So the past 3 years, people have had to like post on our site again, but that's not our fault. But it's also not their fault for not knowing. Because it's an API that sort of came and went, and a lot of us event producer and promoter types were like, no, Facebook, because it was so convenient, right?
Yes, it was.
You would on Facebook, it would sync to Fusicology, and all we would have to then do is like one little thing to make it live, because we're based on regions as opposed to cities. So, for instance, DC Baltimore is one region, DMV.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I put the state of North Carolina all at once because honestly, there's just no offense to North Carolina, but there's not enough things going on between Charlotte and Raleigh-Durham and Asheville, so we just kind of
put them all together.
Right. You know what I mean? So it is a little complicated, but that was I mean, technology is always changing, and so our new site is gonna be so much easier for people to post events on. We've been working on it for almost a year now. Shout out to my business partner Michael, and we're almost there. We're just perfecting it before we make it live.
Awesome. Asya, can anyone promote their event through Fusicology, or what are the requirements for someone to be able to post on your
it's free for everybody. I know this is going to sound, you know, maybe uncivilized, but as long as it's not whack, we're good. I'm, you know, because then you know, you become irrelevant for people.
Yes.
Click, and you know, if you got some, I like to call it like the girl with the booty on the flyer. It's probably not a Fusicology event, unless it's like natural booty, you know what I mean? But like, you know, like the chick looking back, and like, you know, and it's like a bottle service for $100.
No,
it's so rare that they're booking music with that in that scene, in that bottle service scene, that matches what we do and we're
You're
about.
right.
It's near to impossible.
You're right. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. You're right. What's next for Fusicology?
Sure.
This is a big year for you. 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. Well, big stuff. I mean, we're really looking forward to the new site. You know, we've kind of procrastinated on it a little bit because we didn't realize how much we had to do. I think in the beginning, you're like, okay, let's just switch this over. But then this happens and this happens and this happens.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, instead of launching something partially, we're getting complaints and like this doesn't work or this isn't finished. We're just decided to hold off on it until it's absolutely perfect. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's been a little, we were supposed to have it done like 3 months ago, but I work with programmers and developers.
Yeah.
So that's the big deal because the new site is also equates to a new app because our app is a hybrid of, you know, just the mobile site and also the app that you see. So it's a seamless, you don't know that it's, you know, not part of the app, but that's the way that it works. And also we're excited about 5G because it's going to affect everybody, right?
Wow.
It's going to really affect people. I'm working on a large event during the Grammys for what would have been the 45th birthday of Jay Dilla. And I can't talk about too much about him. Actually, under a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
We will announce everything towards the end of the year, and then but it's a pretty big deal. I've been working with Common for almost 20 years. I've been working with, you know, Robert Glasper and all those kind of artists. So that's a hint. And,
I'll take the hint. Thank you.
I'll take the hint. Another thing is, you know, I work in the cannabis space. I do some things in that space too. It's kind of tricky because it's not legal everywhere.
Yeah, it's not legal everywhere, but it's okay.
But it's okay. But it's super legal here in California and in Toronto and in pretty much all the cities I've lived in, ironically. And then another big thing that I'm working on is I'm working with again, it's certain things I can't like talk about.
That's fine.
But I am working with my venture capitalist partner came back from the United Nations and he works with Acon, and there's a lot going on with that. So I do things on a larger scale, and then I really enjoy the smaller scale events, promotions, productions, putting things together, that sort of thing.
You're so awesome. Who influences you? What or who influences you? Because you're a dynamo. Where do you pull that energy from?
Definitely my parents, especially my mother. My mother is like, you think I got energy. Like, she's 72 and she is playing music all around the city of Los Angeles.
Wow.
She plays more gigs than the average DJ, you know. And my dad is awesome because now that he's retired, he's like her little roadie and he carries the amp and the guitar to her gigs. And it's like probably the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is so cute. That is so cute.
Definitely. And then I have mentors. You know, I work with certain people like James Andrews, who actually used to live in Atlanta and is a big time conduit for lifestyle marketing. I love like people like Nelson George, writer, filmmaker.
Yes.
Your fellow ATL resident Jason Orr from Funk Jack.
Yes, Jason. Yes, I talked to him here. Yes, he's awesome.
And just a lot of people in Atlanta, actually. You know, Kembo Tom and all these amazing people that do incredible things with their agency work. And I'm also very I'm influenced by strong women in general. Not that I work with directly, but you know, obviously like the Oprahs of the world. The biggest fan, and I used to be a big fan of Russell Simmons. Yeah, that was part of my interview before. I'm like, oh, I love what he's done. But so those are some of the people, but unfortunately there are not that many women that are, you know, heavy like producers, DJs, heavy in the industry. Very limited. Very
limited. So I'm looking at you like my eyes are like open, like wow, because your legacy and the body of work that you've done is incredible. The artists that you've worked with are phenomenal. And it's just been
very blessed.
Oh my
right place, right time.
God. And so you have so much more ahead of you because as long as there's music, you're always going to be needed. You are saving the planet.
That's right. Thank you. Well, I mean, honestly, like even when the economy goes up, down, whatever, it almost doesn't matter. People like to go out to concerts. They like connecting with each other in person, right? And they especially like not spending, you know, a couple $1,000s and going vacation. Not everyone can afford that, but they can afford to like go to a jazz concert or go listen to some house music and blow some steam, or, you know, whatever, you know, go to a drum class and listen to Afrobeat. Like, it really, and again, to me, that's all in the same. It's all in the same vein. All of that energy is very similar.
You ever thought about putting out maybe a CD, Fusicology Greatest Hits, like all of the your favorite artists that you like? Jay Dilla's gone. I know that would have taken a big space on the CD, but you thought about that?
No, we did a decade ago when Fusicology turned 5, and it was just so much work getting all the license, and then people be doing, you know, they don't have original music. They have to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, what I'm thinking it would be probably easier would be like maybe DJ mixes or like that so keep the legality, because you know, people will give you a song, they'll say that this is it, but then they're, you know, one of their guys is like, well, I played drums on that, or I did the beat on that, or that's, and then you get, so even after you sign contracts with people, it says like, this is my music, you're allowed to use it. You know, so yes and no. So I'd love to do it, but I would probably want to do it either under an official record label, you know, that owns the music that I like a Universal Music Group, like a big distributor, or do more of like a mix sort of project.
Yeah, because anything that you're listening to, people are going to want to know that. It's almost like a book club, right? Some people have a book club and they want whatever you're reading, they're going to read the same thing too. Because you span so many different people, it's just interesting, and this wouldn't be evasive in a sense, like we don't want to know what's going on in your personal life, but what you're listening to, that's where we would want to go. And then more and more people, because I'm sure there's so many people that are not African American, they're not black, but they feel the same way, and they know that somebody is listening to the same kind of music. It's just inspiration for everybody, because outside of love, the music is what connects us all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I think going back to like my upbringing in Toronto, like it wasn't about ethnicity or my background. Obviously, by looking at my name, most people can probably know that I'm Jewish ethnically. It's pretty simple. Be like, what are you? You know?
You tell them you're adorable. Tell them you're adorable. When they say, what are you? I'm adorable. That's what you tell them. Yeah, you're awesome.
And then no, that's not corny at all.
No, that's not corny at all. It's true.
No, I mean, I think we have to circumvent. You know, I understand. Like there was a part of me that always felt like, well, I don't want people to think I'm a culture vulture, or that I'm sort of impeding on space. I know, you know, let's keep it 100. What people think about Jewish people in the music industry, but I do think that these things are changing, and I think that we're looking at each other in a different light, as opposed to skin color and what your ethnicity may be. What is your vibe? Where is your heart? You know, for real, not just saying that. I've been feeling that, and I talk to many people that even say to me, well, you know, back in the day, you know, I might have not worked with somebody like you. I've heard that from people, you know, people that maybe are part of Nation of Islam, which, you know, I have theories, because I believe that Islamic faith and Jewish faith are cousins. Let's hang out, you know. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe I think that we've been ahead of the curve. I think the house music scene specifically has been ahead of the curve from day one, because when I came into that house club, I was surrounded by all types of people. You know, especially in New York with Body and Soul, which is sort of what made me who I am, I think, as a house head. Let's say this is the year like 1998, 1990, those years, right before 9/11. I mean, there were Japanese people from Japan, or that just lived in New York. There were like people look like me. There were gay, black. It was what it was supposed to be. And for us to go back and slip into, like, you know, that's just
not good.
No, it's regressive, and we're all about progression, not regression.
That is right. That is correct. But I think you touched on a lot of points, and I think people look at people individually. It's going to come down to what you bring to the table, and who you are, and how you connect with everybody. I've only known you for a short time. I mean, we met on the cruise last year, like face to face, because we were like email buddies for a minute.
That's right.
But you instantly connect with people. And so that is your way of changing the minds instantaneously. So you keep doing what you're doing, and the walls are going to continue to come down, and your legacy and your body of work is just going to continue to flourish. Anybody that knows you wants to work with you because of you know it. You know your music, you know your artist. You're just very good at what you do. And I tip my hat to you, Asya. I do.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
I do. How can people find you? Not personally, but through the brand. Where's the brand? How can they find the brand?
Well, thankfully, we own every,
yes.
like at Fusicology, everything.
Yes.
So, we're obviously Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't do Snapchat. I just never got into it.
Me neither.
I don't know. Maybe a mistake. Not my thing. Maybe I will. Maybe with this new site iteration, we will. Also, we sometimes hire. People ask me that all the time. It depends. Normally, it's like sales and marketing jobs and stuff on national scales, and you can just go to our website and go to the jobs. Everything is down below. So the menu at the top is for the outside users, events and new music and things of that nature. We post all the time. It's consistent. I mean, the new events pop up. Like, I bet you if I go on right now, there are 30 to 50 events that got posted just in the past few hours. It's really robust.
Yes.
Nice. And I know people can't wait for the new site and the new system, and then it'll be easier. So we're looking forward to that too, because even more events will be posted. Yeah. And then people can also, if they want to call, it's 800-980-FUSE if they want to leave a message or just talk to somebody. And submitting music is always free. I don't charge independent artists for musical submissions. I don't want your $200 and then you're thinking of what you're going to eat, or if you're going to spend the $200 on Facebook or Fusicology. No. Just send us the music. We'll make it happen. And then if you want something bigger and broader, then we'll talk about it. That's how I roll.
Wow. A woman with integrity. Thank you.
Gotta have that.
Man, when will I see you again in person? You didn't do Croatia. I missed you in Movement. I didn't see you in Detroit.
We missed each other in Movement. I think I was only there for maybe 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Do you do South by Southwest?
Well, I was at A3C in Atlanta, and I was there for 40 hours. And
That's all? You were just here?
I was, but I move around. I mean, it was a last minute situation, and I just, I'm an Airbnb queen. I move around. I love
you were just here. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. You were just here.
I know, and I got a few messages. I had a couple meetings. I met with Sam,
yes.
I'll say, big up Kai.
Yes.
My man from so many years.
Yes, Kai, I'll say yes. We love him.
He's so talented. And a couple people came to my panel. Reggie Doak, shout out for making that. But then I was in and out. I was out the next morning, and I had some meetings and had some vegan food with Jason Orr and bounced.
Nice. You know what I appreciate about this so much is that we know the same people. And today was really big for me. It was really super because now I get to catalog you with the other greats that you mentioned, Jason Orr, Kai, Stan, Ken, wonderful people that I've had to come and just share and expose and be transparent. And I just want to continue to wish you nothing but more success and everything that you do.
If possible, I wanted to plug our 15th anniversary. That was the first, so the 20th. Our 15th anniversary, Louie Vega, Sunday, October 21st in Los Angeles. It's Louie Vega Live with EOL Sofrito. So Elements of Life Live with Anane, Josh Milan, lots of surprises. So I checked today, actually. We've been doing really great on the seats. So if anyone's watching this, the good seats are still available, but it's getting, we're about a week and some change out. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Louie's definitely one of my heroes I'm sure everyone's heroes. I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah, we love Louie, Bronx native. Go Louie Vega.
What?
Yeah, awesome. He is like the Quincy Jones of house music.
Yes.
He is just, everything that he's touching is gold. He is a phenomenal person. Very humble man, and so I am so happy for you that you're able to celebrate your 15 years with Mr. Louie Vega.
That's right.
And the Elements of Life family, Anane and Josh and everyone else. It's going to be awesome. I wish I could be there. God, I'm working on it so I can be everywhere like yourself.
I know, that's the thing. It's like, well, why were you in Croatia this year? Well, I produced the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, and the city of Los Angeles does not allow you to go out of town in the summer when you're producing that festival until it's over, in August. So there's just, you got to pick and choose your battles. I also, I'm getting older and I just don't want to be everywhere all the time. And I feel like I got reps and I got people that are out there that represent. And you know, I wasn't at Mikasa Holiday, but we had a full page ad. Thank you, Julius, in the in the booklet. So I think you just got to pick and choose. You know, where you go, what you do. You know, you can't be everywhere. And believe me, I have not been to House in the Park in forever. And that bugs me every year. I'm like, you coming this year again? I'm like, because there's 20 other things going on.
I know.
You know, we in every other market.
Yes.
You know, you got Detroit Jazz Festival, African Festival in Chicago.
Yeah.
You've got the boat parties in LA. So it's like, you know, can I just like clone myself? That'd be amazing.
That would be great. That would be great. And this year was awesome too at House in the Park. Shouts out to Ramon Russell and the other guys.
Shouts out to Ramon.
Yes,
that's right.
yes.
And Moods Music, Daryl.
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm
and yes.
dropping all Atlanta people.
You need to visit Atlanta more if possible, but
I will. I hope so. I love it. I think you guys have an incredible city there, and I just think that it's what an American city should be. It's very diverse.
Yeah.
It's not super expensive the way LA is, which
Yeah.
is off the charts,
Yeah.
and it's got such a vibe. It's just got so much soul and spirit. I think Atlanta is, you know, I love LA, Oakland, Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago's always going to have a place in my heart, but there's something very special going on in Atlanta. I have to say, though, that nothing beats New Orleans. I'm sorry.
She had to just slide that in there after that beautiful speech about Atlanta.
Pure musical debauchery on every corner. There's a A-list jazz artist playing the trumpet somewhere. You know, you can't beat New Orleans, baby. Maybe Atlanta's going to try.
Thank you. Oh, and then on that note, I'm going to end on that note. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been wonderful. That's it for me. You guys know where I am. I'm Real Chicks Rock. I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. Feel free to follow us, chase us, see us. We love you guys. Until next time, you guys take care. Continue to rock on.
God bless.
All right.